Hi guys, welcome to our first video on transformations. Y'all have talked about this before in the past, but if you remember, a transformation is a change in position or size of a geometric figure, normally on a coordinate plane. And today we're going to be talking about reflections. Okay, a reflection is an image that's flipped over a line. So basically you guys talk about flips, slides, turns. This is the one that's flipped, so it's like a mirror image. Okay, and the line that the image is reflected over is called the line of reflection. So that's basically the line that you're going to look across to see what's on the other side. And when we're doing our change in figures, you've got your coordinates of your original image, and then you've also got the coordinates of your new image, and those are identified using prime notation. And when we do our examples, I'll explain what all three of these words actually mean. So let's go ahead and move on to example 1. Alright guys, let's look at example number 1. It tells you to place your points A, B, C, D, and E, and I'm assuming that you guys know how to plot points, so go ahead and take a second and plot your points for A, B, C, D, and E. Now the question says that you're going to reflect it over the y-axis. So what's really important here is that you show which axis you're actually going to flip it over. So on your paper I want you to circle reflect over the y-axis, and then also go on your paper and actually indicate which one we're going to flip it over. Okay? So the y-axis now becomes our line of reflection, which means that this figure is going to flip over and be on the other side of this line of reflection. So the way that you do a reflection is that you go to each point, and all you do is you count to see how many it is away from your line of reflection. So D is 1, 2, 3 away from your line of reflection. So when you do it on the other side, you're going to go across 1, 2, 3, and there's your new point D, and you put the little prime thing there. Okay, so that's going to tell you what your prime notation is, which means it's your reflected point of D. Then you're just going to go through and do the same thing for every point. So C is also 3 from the line of reflection, so it's going to be 3 on the other side as well. And that's going to be C prime, because that's your new point C. You're just going to go through and do the same thing for the other ones. So E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away from the line of reflection. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 here. And that's E prime. And same thing with A. It's 7 from the line of reflection. And then 7 here. And then now you're just left with B. And B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then when you take your marker and you connect the dots, you should come up with a figure that looks exactly like this, except for it's been flipped to the other side. Okay, so once you have your reflected image graphed, what you want to do is you want to record the new points of your reflected image on your paper. Then you're going to look at your points on your original image and your reflected image, and then write down what do you see and what do you notice about your x values from one to the other, and then what do you notice about your y values from one to the other. And when you're looking at it, what you should notice is that all of the x values have changed to the opposite. So your first one was -7, 4, and your new one should be 7, 4. So all it's done is it's taken the x coordinate and it's done the opposite. And all of the y values have stayed the same because it didn't move anywhere on the y-axis. It stayed exactly where it was. So go ahead and try example 2 on your own, and then come back and check and see if you got it right. Okay guys, here's the answer to example 2. This is your original figure that you should have graphed. Notice how the points are labeled A, B, C, and D. It's very important that you label them the way that they're specified. And then once you reflected it, you reflected over the x-axis, and we have the x-axis highlighted here so that you make sure that you remember that you're reflecting it this direction, because the reflection makes a big difference if you're reflecting it over the x or over the y. In this case, it's over the x. So when we reflected it over the x-axis, what happened is we looked at each point and we figured out how far away it was from the line of reflection. So A was 3 away from the line of reflection, therefore A prime, which is our new figure, is also 3 away from the line of reflection. Same with B. It's the same distance from A on either side, but it's 3 away from the line of reflection. So when we take our new figure and reflect it over the x-axis, each point is indicated with a prime notation indicating that it's the same figure, but it's been moved. And in this case, it's been reflected over the x-axis. So here's the listing of the new points for the figure. So double check those and make sure that you get those correct. And also, if you notice, the difference between the coordinates of your old figure and the coordinates of your new figure is that your x coordinates have remained the same and your y coordinates have been turned into the opposite, because that's what gives you a reflection over the x-axis. Okay, let's go ahead and go on to example number 3. All right, so here we are on example number 3. First thing you should do is go ahead and graph your coordinates that they give you on the problem. Now the difference between this one is it's telling you to reflect over the line x equals -2. We've only done the x-axis or the y-axis, so this is something new. So basically, this is what we're doing, x equals -2. Okay, remember we've talked about input, output, and sequencing. So basically what this means is that for any value of y, x has to be 2. So you can just pick any ordered pair. So let's do x is -2 and y is 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and plot that. So -2, 0. So we do -2 and then 0, and it stays there. And let's pick another point. So x is -2 and y is 3. So x is -2, 1, 2, y is 3. Okay, and then if I pick another point, let's say -2, what's going to happen? It's all going to lie on the same line. So x is -2, y is -2. So if you notice, any point that I plot here, if I do x is equal to -2, it's going to create a line that goes this way. Because it doesn't matter what your what your y value is, your x value is always going to be -2. So all we've done is we've changed our line of reflection from being either the x-axis or the y-axis, and we've just indicated a specific line. So all this means is that we're going to take this figure and we're going to flip it over the line that we've drawn here. So you're going to use your same rules, is you're going to ask yourself, how far away is A from my line of reflection? So A is 1, 2 away, and this marker's not going to work. Okay, A is 2 away. Now, you don't really want to worry about the value of this. You just know that it's 2 spaces away. So 2 spaces away going this direction will put you right here. So there's your A prime. Same thing with C. C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 away. So you just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's going to be your C prime. And then your B is 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. Okay, so then when you connect your dots, that's what you should come up with. So notice that whatever your line is of your reflection is going to be directly in the middle of your 2 points. Okay, go ahead and try example number 3 for yourself, number 4 for yourself, and remember you need to make sure that you're paying attention to what it's asking you to reflect over. Now conversely, big word, sorry. If it tells you that y equals something, then you would do your points with y equaling that same exact point. So use the same thought process as we did. So go ahead and try it, and then come back and see how you did. All right, guys, here's the answer to number 4. First thing I want you to notice is that it's asking you to reflect across the line y equals 3. So remember I said you're going to use the same rationale that you did in the other one. I've put in 3 for y on each one of my points and picked any value for x. So I've got 0, 3, right? 0, and then 3 lies on that line. 2, 3, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 lies on that line. And then -1, 3, same thing. -1, 3 lies on that line. So that's where we get this line right here. This is the line that it's going to be reflected over. So here's your original figure, and then it's reflected over this line. So you notice, same distance. A is 1, A prime is 1. B is 1 away, B prime is 1 away. Okay? And then D is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away, so D prime should also be 5 away. And our new points are listed here, so make sure that you double check and make sure you did everything correctly. So you can go back, pause, rewind, write down any questions or anything that maybe you're confused about or need to ask about tomorrow in class. Have a good night, and we'll see you in class tomorrow.